everyone. How is everybody today? We'll just wait for Vibhu to join in and then we'll begin. Okay, before we begin, I'll just like to mention that any questions that you have for Vibhu this evening, we can all put down in the question box right to your right of your screen, and we'll get to them right in the end, and we'll be done. Yeah. We'll just wait for Vibhu to come here, and can't see her online. Vibhu, if you can hear me, I'm not able to see you online. Can you send me a request? Oh yeah, I can see you now. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are
Hello,
you?
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Okay. Yeah, I'll give me just one second. Sorry. Yes. Hello and welcome to another live session with us. And I hope that you're having a great day. Let's begin with the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So please go ahead and tell us something about yourself.
I am a fashion designer. I'm basically from Delhi. Now I live in Vizag after getting married. So about me, I think it's going to be a long story because I started with CA. Like I chose CA as a career. Then I dropped it after 2.5 years because I didn't feel that it was me. And then I joined fashion design. And somehow I still felt that there's something different I want to do. I don't want to be a typical fashion designer. I was really into art since I was a child, and like I wanted to do something with art. But because I did fashion designing, I think because of that I had a knowledge of fashion illustrations, and I started with the illustrations because I love drawing outfits rather than stitching or like wearing them. I really hate doing the fashion thing, and like I'm not that kind of person, but I think I love when I draw it. So I had used to draw crazy outfits, and like that's how I think I started. And my page, I started my page in 2020. It was very random. I didn't feel that like in just 2 or 3 years I'll reach here, and it was just a random hobby because I think everybody was bored in like pandemic.
Yeah.
And instead of like spending time on watching series or like because I did waste a lot of hours watching like new series or anything that was on TV, like anything I could just watch while spending time. So I did that, but I think I got bored, and like then eventually I started this page randomly. I started posting my own work, and then people started liking it. And then I like in 3 months of starting this page, I dropped like I like quit my job, and I became full-time illustrator. So I think till then this is my story, and here I am now.
All right. So, according to you, what distinguishes one illustrator from the other?
I think it's about a stylization. Everybody has their own style, and like an artist or anyone from any field, I think everybody has their own ideas. Everybody has their own way of working, and I think a lot of people have their own stylization. You can just look at someone's work, and then you're like, okay, this is like you can actually, if you follow artists, you can actually figure out like who made this. So it is like that. A person has their own style, and the style of the illustration or the drawing or anything actually shows what exactly that person is. Because art is
Right.
something that is done from inside. You can't just learn it. Because even
Yeah.
if you have a degree in art, if you can't feel that art, you can't actually connect people with your artwork. So it's like
Right.
you have to be connected with your art so that people actually can connect with it. So it's like that. So I think that's how people, because art is basically a person. I think
Yeah.
I would say that my art is something that I feel very connected to, and I can
Mm.
say that like my stylization is me, the way I am. I am a very simple person. I might be a fashion designer, but if you ever meet me in the streets, you'll be like you can't even see a Delhi girl there. I'm that kind of simple person. So yeah, that's how my art is.
All right. So what is your primary area of expertise when it comes to illustrations?
I think I am very I have an art form that is very bizarre because I don't feel, because initially I think I experimented in a lot of arts. Like I am
Mm.
very experimental kind of person, but somehow I am like I get surrounded by the human art form. Like instead of going for objects, I love drawing faces, I love drawing hair, I love drawing outfits. So it's like that. My expertise, I would say, because I am a designer, so I am very connected to outfits and fabrics. So I love drawing fabrics. I love drawing like anything that is flowy, that is bizarre, or my art form is basically like that. I think I would say I still feel that it might not be my expertise, but I think I love doing that.
Yeah. Nice. So if someone wants to like pursue a career in oh, I'm sorry, my electricity just went off.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I can see you.
Can we still hear
Yeah,
me?
I can see you. It's normal.
All right. Okay, shall I continue?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
All right. If someone wants to pursue a career in illustration, so what are the top three things, like very important things that need to be taken care of?
I think I would say for illustrations, it's like you can just start anytime. You don't have to be
Mm.
very expert fashion designer, or you don't have to be like really good in art, because illustration is something that even if you're not a good artist,
Mm.
you have so many options these days because of digital art. I feel that when if I as a teacher, I would say that it's easier for me to teach digital art than to handmade art, because in digital art you can actually in a way you can learn things very quickly because you have a lot of shortcuts in digital
Yeah,
art. So I
yeah,
have seen my students making a proper illustration just after completing a course with me. But in handmade illustration, I always say that if you won't practice, you won't be even close to any person who is on Instagram. I think I would say, because I I have worked really hard on my
Mm.
illustrations, and I have it, and the way I make illustrations, it's basically uh, because of the practice I did in all those years. Like I have been making illustrations from like last 5 6 years. If someone is going to compare their new artwork or something they have learned just few days ago with something I have been doing from last 5 6 years, I think it's really wrong to compare those things. So I would say that
Mm.
digital illustration is very easy if you are not an artist.
Yeah.
So I because like somehow my work also, like I was just a fashion illustrator, and people started coming up with the family portraits or couple illustrations with me, and I
Mm.
was very free with the work, like okay, I'll do it. Even if I don't know, even if I have never done this before, I always say like I'll do it. Even if I
Yeah.
fail 5 or 6 times, I would say I'll do it. So that's how you can actually be very diverse in your work, and you can like get work that is from different fields, and you can actually choose a field from them. So it's like that. I don't know, like if I
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
quite
You would
away
totally
from
make
the actual
sense.
question, but
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, what are some important apps that you need as an illustrator? And can you suggest some free apps for, like, beginners or someone?
I think like you don't get everything free when it comes to design. Like you have to
Yeah.
spend something, because if every designer has a dream that they want to earn something out of it. So I think if you want to earn something, you have to spend a little first.
Mm.
So like even if it's not digital, it's handmade. You have to spend on the colors, on the sheets or pencils, everything. You can't just draw in the air. So even in digital art, you need to spend some money on a good like graphic
Yeah.
tablet or laptop or like any device that you want to use. And then it comes to like the applications. I think Photoshop, Corel Draw, Illustrator, this is something that I have worked on since I started this illustration part. All right, initially like it was Corel Draw, but somehow like these are very expensive if you go for the original softwares. But you can, if you can get it somewhere from any shop or any person, you can get it, and like it's very inexpensive. So
Yeah.
initially you can start with the Photoshop, Illustrator, Corel Draw, and then if you want to draw it, you can get a good iPad or a graphic tablet, and you can draw it from there. So I think initially I think it's fine.
So, as you're mentioning the iPads or graphic tablets, which one do you use? Do you
I
use a pen
use
tablet, or do you use
see,
a?
when I bought the iPad now, I actually at that time I was not very much, because I just started. So I didn't want to spend too much, because I think everybody knows that iPads are like
Yeah.
yeah. So that's how like I had to research a lot. I didn't want to like buy an iPad that is the lowest like in the iPad, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to go for Pro also. So at that time, I think Air 4 was released, and at that time only, and I think it was in my budget. And because
Okay.
and then there was a strategy behind it, because I had a student ID, so
Oh,
Apple
yeah.
provided a student ID discount. So I had around like 10 to 15,000 discount when I
Oh,
so like every time someone asks me, because if you have a student ID, you can actually ace the discounts in Apple products, especially
yeah.
in MacBooks or iPads. So I got a discount. So I actually researched for 15-20
And
days.
then Procreate is always different. Like, you have to
Yeah,
buy it
Procreate was at
separately.
that time. Procreate was because I saw some people working on Procreate like on
Yeah.
Instagram only. So I was like, I want to go for digital, because in handmade, because the kind of orders I was getting at that time, na, like it actually needed something in digital.
Yeah.
It was like some digital drawing was necessary in that, because in handmade you have somehow, because if you are making a save the date card, or if you're making a wedding card, you actually need to create that handmade illustration into a digital one. So for doing
Yeah.
that, you need a device. I had a laptop. I was working on Photoshop from last few years, but I think I didn't find Photoshop that like handy, because you can't draw
Hmm.
it unless you have a graphic tablet. So I
Yeah.
wanted something that, because as an artist, I have a thing like of drawing things. I can't like scroll from the mouse, and
Yeah.
so that's why I think I needed it, and that's why, and I think there's something that I would like to tell people, that don't buy things unless you know you can actually earn from them.
Yeah.
Because when I bought my iPad, I actually did a lot of projects just so I can afford it. Because you whenever you are buying something, whether it's a good laptop, something that is like you are investing in, you have to be very sure that you can actually recover from that part. Because
Yeah.
if you're
Correct.
spending 50 to 60,000 or 1 lakh or 80 is something like in between that amount, as a student or as a beginner, you have to know that you can actually get something out of it.
Yeah.
Don't buy things unless you know that you will be able to recover it.
Hmm.
So that is a tip that I would like to give people, because that is how I worked all my life.
Yeah.
Like I am a very confused person. I can't spend money like that.
Yeah.
I am very confused when it comes to art supplies also. Like I can work with anything that I have for years. I will not spend money. Even if I'm earning good, I don't spend money on myself. Never ever.
So, like you said, you're incorporating your fashion designing in the illustration. So, how else do you do that? How has fashion design helped your current work?
I think it helped me in a way because fashion illustration is basically a subject in fashion design. You
Yeah,
actually learn that in the course, and like in between that course you don't get that much knowledge, but you get it when you actually work with the fabrics. So
yeah,
after my course I worked for 1.5 hours, half years, with a fashion website, like it was an Indian wear. So somehow, like even if my work was not like related to illustrations, I always somehow, like, worked on that, because when it comes to new designs, I was always like, I will draw it first, I will
yeah,
show it to the master, like I will show it to the pattern maker or embroidery maker, like this is how I want it. So
yeah,
because I think drawing or illustration is something that is very important in fashion design, because if you are a fashion designer, you can't actually spend money on the embroidery or anything if you don't know how it will turn out.
yeah,
Sorry. So it is very important that you have a you are able to show that idea to people who are going to work on that design, whether you are an intern, whether you are a designer. You need to be very clear, because nobody is going to spend, especially when you're working under someone, when you're working under someone else's company, nobody is going to spend money on your product or something that you have designed unless they are sure that it is going to
yeah,
be commercialized. So I think while in the course you don't learn about the commercialization of things, but when
yeah.
you're working on with a company, you actually know how to commercialize yourself. So I think that was
Right.
something that I learned from that company, and that is something
Mhm.
that I am that quality or that thing I have been using it since I started this page. Because if you leave your job to do something full time, you actually should have the knowledge of commercializing yourself. Because if you
Mhm.
don't know that, because nobody works without money. So
Yeah.
I think this is a harsh truth. Even if, as a person who is very like passionate about art, I always saw it in a way that I want to commercialize myself. I want to be able to earn enough from that artwork or enough from my talent, so that nobody ever is going to tell me that you like your decision of leaving CA or decision of leaving a job was wrong, and you should have stick to that.
Yeah.
So that is something, because कुछ भी आप करो, you need to be able to earn money out of something that you are passionate about. That is
Correct.
very important in life. See, the
Correct.
thing is that I am a person who talks a lot, so I sometimes like get distracted from the actual question
No worries.
and
No
like
worries.
start talking about something else.
No, no worries. Yeah, absolutely, that's welcome here. You have the freedom to
That's
talk
great.
whatever you want. Yeah. So, in a society that we live in, illustrations and designing are taken as a very easy career option, and people don't generally take it as a long-term, successful option as such. So, what do you think about this? Do you think that it's like a myth that you want like to break, or
I
is
think
it something that you
I think
comply with?
like in the world of social media at this moment, you can actually make a career out of anything.
Yeah.
People won't
Yeah.
even know that like dancing or singing on Instagram could make people famous or make people get like international orders or international exposure people are getting today.
Right.
Nobody is going to get like I think I would say that I'm not someone who has done a fashion design course from a very high profile college. Nobody even knows the name of that college. It was near me because I left CA, and
Yeah.
everybody in my relatives or everyone was like, you need to make her a teacher. everybody in my family was like, we are a family of like all the ladies in my family are teachers. My mom and everyone is teacher. So basically they were like, make her a teacher. Teaching is a very like like safe career for
Mm.
girls. So
Yeah.
and at that time I left CA, and my family was not very like comfortable with CA also, because the classes were very like I used to come home at 8 or 8:30
Long.
in the evening. So the classes timings were very long. So for a girl, they were like, even after marriage, like the in-laws won't accept a girl who
Mm.
works really late. So that is the kind of thoughts that our society has for girls, that
Yeah.
girls should be doing a safe job. They should be doing a job where they can actually like give time to their families after that. So everybody in my relatives used to say, but at that time I wanted to do it, and that's why I chose a very safe way of doing it. I chose a college that was nearby my house, like it was 30 minutes away, and like it was 4 hours a day. So I
Mm.
think the timing was also okay, and it was all girls, so it was okay for the people
Yeah.
nearby also. Okay, all girls mein jati hai, so like they were okay with that also. So I think that's how I choose a very because and okay, again, what was the question? I forgot.
We were talking about
Like
how
okay, yeah.
how it is
So
easy for people
so
to
I think
think it's shorter.
initially, like, it was very difficult, because like it's not like engineering, it's not like doctor, or it's not like something that you will get it. Like it's eventually like, if you have joined a good college in engineering, or you are doing something from a very good college, you're going to get a job. Like that is the
Yeah.
mindset that parents also have. Like, मेरे बच्चे का IIT में एडमिशन हो गया है, so I think we are going to get a 50 lakh package easily. So मेरा बेटा या मेरी बेटी तो settled है. So art
Mm.
is not something like that. You can't actually be a really good artist
Yeah.
even if you have a really good degree from NIFT or any like good college. You need to work really really hard to make a name out of it, because art or something in designing is like कि आपकी creativity जो है वो आपकी डिग्री से ज्यादा मैटर करती है. So today I think I feel that I won't say that I'm very proud of myself, or I would say that I'm very arrogant towards it, but I feel that आज के time में nobody asked me about my degree, nobody asked
Right.
me about my college,
Yeah.
nobody
Agree.
asked me कि मैंने लाइफ में क्या अचीव किया है, या मैंने लाइफ में मेरे कितने 12th में मेरे कितनी परसेंटेज थी. Nobody asked me that. Everybody just, and even if someone asks me ki show me your portfolio, I say just look at my Instagram.
Yeah.
That is my portfolio. So I think it's like कि myth, I would say कि मैं ये चीज बिल्कुल भी नहीं बोलूंगी कि बहुत easy है. नहीं
Yeah.
होता easy. It's not easy for every person, because I have seen so many people who are so talented, but they don't get the exposure, and I sometimes feel like कि I think I don't deserve this kind of exposure. I'm not that talented. So I feel that, and I think it's necessary to have such thoughts, because क्या होता है कि sometimes you become very arrogant कि यार मेरे तो इतने
It's like
followers
a
हैं,
reality check.
people love my work, and but somehow मुझे ये चीज, when I scroll down and I always see कि people with such a great talent, they are not getting the exposure they deserve. So that like thought, that those people make me feel like कि I should be very grateful for what I get, and I think I should
Mm.
keep working hard towards what I'll be getting in future. So work hard करना तो बिल्कुल छोड़ना ही नहीं चाहिए कभी भी लाइफ में. There is no way that you can actually achieve something even if you are Salman Khan. Like आज सलमान खान के भी नाम के हिसाब से उसकी मूवी नहीं चल रही है. People are
Right.
not going, because at this time people are not seeing you for your name, people are seeing you for your work. Nobody goes to a movie saying कि यार मेरा ये favorite actor है, that's why I will go and watch this movie. they will like कि reviews कैसे हैं. So in this time people are not like very like भक्त नहीं है लोग आपके. They actually see your work. अगर मैं अच्छा काम नहीं करूँगी, people will start unfollowing me. And eventually मेरी जो मतलब मेरी reach गिरेगी. And that has happened to me like a lot of time, because I might not be that consistent in my work, and because I'm not able to handle my Instagram and my work. If I'm working a lot, if I'm taking the classes, I won't be able to be on Instagram. So दोनों चीजें होना बहुत जरूरी है, because somehow दोनों चीजें interconnected होती है.
Yeah.
Again, I was distracted from the question.
No worries. As a woman entrepreneur, what were like a few struggles or obstacles that you faced on top of all the things that you just said?
I think the struggles would be कि अब I feel कि because I'm working from home, I'm not going anywhere. Because I'm a person who never likes to go outside. Like I'm really happy inside, but I didn't want to be a housewife. So I work from home. I have my corner. I work there. I work in every corner of the house. Even if I'm like watching a series or anything, I work in that way. But I feel initially it was very difficult for me to explain this to my parents or my family that I want to be a fashion designer, because like typical families have that mindset कि यार fashion design के बाद तो लड़कियां बिगड़ जाती हैं. They like वो हाथ से निकल जाती हैं. So it was like that. I had to make my parents so like my family is very protective towards it. Like they are like कि हम छोड़ने जाएंगे, and मैं अगर थोड़ा सा लेट हुई हूँ तो they will be like calling me, and मैं अगर एक बार कॉल नहीं उठाऊंगी, so even now when I go back to my house and मैं अगर कभी फ्रेंड्स के साथ या कभी बाहर गई हूँ, so my curfew time is 6 p.m. 6 बजे के बाद मुझे करनी है. Even after I'm married, my parents are still like that कि नहीं, 6 बजे के बाद घर नहीं आना, 6 बजे से पहले पहले घर आ जाओ. कैब में हो, अच्छा मुझे कैब का पूरा वो दो, सारा डेटा दो कैब का क्या वो है. सो आई एम फ्रॉम दैट फैमिली. सो उनके लिए ये चीज सोचना भी कि माई किड इज गोइंग टू बी इन अ फैशन लाइन, एंड मतलब मेरे honestly my family is also from a fashion background. So my dad and like my uncle, we have a family business in manufacturing and like wholesale and that kind of business. So like we have been in a western fashion from a long time, but it's very difficult for a father to accept that his daughter is also also wants to go into that field.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for them, and I think I had to do a lot. I have had to convince them a lot. And because in my college also, I participated in a lot of competitions and fashion shows and everything, because I'm 8.5. I have a good height, so everybody is like कि modeling karani hai. So it was like that in college. So I was quite like thin, and so they were like कि इसको modeling कराना. So but my family was not very convinced with that. कि initially थोड़ा सा उनको हुआ था कि नहीं, ये चीजें नहीं, इस चीज में नहीं घुसाना बच्चे को, क्योंकि because they are from fashion background, so they know what happens in fashion, because they have seen everything up close. They know what kind of my father has met a lot of actresses, and he knows कि उनकी क्या life होती है, somehow the background of their life, he knows that. So he didn't want his own child to go through that, या वो struggle या वो चीजें कि किसी गलत वे में उस चीज को ना ले जाए. तो मुझे बहुत I had to convince them a lot. And in like when I started this page and everything, and when I convinced them कि मुझे घर से काम करना है, I don't have to go anywhere, this is my work, and this is how I connect with the clients, and I'm teaching also. So because I'm also, at that time they wanted me to be just a teacher. At this moment I'm a teacher. I like work with a lot of brands. I work with like a lot of, I have done a lot of collaboration. I worked with Netflix. I have worked with Ralph Lauren, and I think that makes it like I am working as in a safe corner of my house, but I'm also connected with a lot of people out there.
Mm.
So somehow I'm doing something that they wanted, and I'm doing something that I wanted, and in the middle we have
Found
like
a middle
connected.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so who has been your like a biggest inspiration for you to get into all of this?
I think my biggest inspiration would be my family. They have supported me a lot, and like uh, मुझे डांट भी बहुत पड़ती थी. सो आई थिंक आई फील कि वो जो डांट थी ना, उसने ज्यादा काम तो उसी में किया है, बिकॉज मुझे डर रहता था, बिकॉज आई हैड अ फियर कि आई डिडंट वांट टू बी अनसक्सेसफुल. माय बिगेस्ट फियर इन लाइफ वाज बीइंग अनसक्सेसफुल. लाइक कि आई डोंट वांट टू बी अ पर्सन जिसके बारे में पेरेंट्स बात करने से घबराते हो, या मतलब wanted to be a child कि when like there is a talk in the families and सब अपने बच्चों के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, my dad should be the person who is like कि मेरी बेटी बहुत अच्छी काम करती है. So I wanted to be that person. I think I didn't want it to be a great fashion designer. I didn't want it to be someone who everybody knows. I just wanted to be a good daughter, a person who my parents would be so proud that like they don't even care what exactly the other children are doing in their life. They are focused on me, that my child is doing really good. So I think that was something. And uske liye kya hai ki, because somehow that feeling keeps you in a right position and right way. आप
Yeah.
अपनी जर्नी में कभी भी कोई गलत रास्ता नहीं चूज करते हो. When you have a thought in your mind कि I want my parents to look here, not here. So when
Yeah.
you have that thought in your life at that time, I think, and it's fine. It's someone, if someone says that कि I want to be a rebellious person, कि मैं अपने parents के against जाके, मैं अपने family के against जाके ये काम करूंगी, so I'll be successful. It's not like that, Amisha. It's like that कि you have to be able to convince your parents, because somehow अगर आपके parents उस चीज से एग्री नहीं करते हैं ना, यू हैव टू मेक देम एग्री. बिकॉज अगर वो बिल्कुल भी एग्री नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो समहाउ दैट थिंग कैन बी रॉन्ग, बिकॉज दे वांट द बेस्ट फॉर यू.
Yeah.
Because I think like there is like a person who came on Kapil Sharma show, and he said कि कोई भी पेरेंट्स ना अपने बच्चे को गरीब नहीं देखना चाहता. They want
Yeah.
their child to be able to do something. They are not against your career, they are not against your career choices, or they are not against something that you love. They just don't want to be like unsuccessful. They don't want to see you unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like that कि अगर आप एक्टर बनते हो, आप कुछ भी बनते हो लाइफ में, बट आपको अपने पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस करना जरूरी हो जाता है that what exactly you want to be. And जब आप पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस कर लेते हो ना, धीरे धीरे दे विल बी वेरी प्राउड. और कभी ऐसा मोमेंट आपकी लाइफ में आएगा ही नहीं कि वो आपकी किसी भी लाइफ के किसी डिसीजन के अगेंस्ट जाएंगे. So I feel कि I actually had that patience to convince my parents कि मैं ये करना चाहती हूँ. मुझे जब सीए छोड़ना था, I convinced my parents. My dad was like कि मुझसे बात नहीं कर रहे थे काफी दिन तक. So I had to convince him कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा. I said that बिल्कुल ऐसे कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा, और मैं अगर आगे भी करूंगी, so it was like same कि मैं अगर सीए बन भी जाऊंगी तो मैं अच्छी सीए नहीं बन पाऊंगी. So it was a thought from Three Idiot also कि मैं अगर इंजीनियर बन भी गया तो मैं अच्छा इंजीनियर नहीं बन पाऊंगा. So I am a good like designer. I have creativity, so I can be a good creative person. So I think like they are happy with my decision. They are happy that everything went well. They are happy that I got married, and even if I'm living in a place like Vizag where there is nothing related to fashion design, still I'm able to work the same way I used to do in Delhi.
Amazing. So, do you have some kind of advice for all the or the people who want to pursue this line of work, or your fellow artists who are thinking of becoming an illustrator?
I think first thing is just start. बस स्टार्ट कर दो. कुछ मत सोचो कि मेरे फॉलोअर्स नहीं है या कुछ नहीं है. कुछ भी मत सोचो. जस्ट स्टार्ट इट. स्टार्ट डूइंग इट. स्टार्ट पोस्टिंग योर वर्क. बिलीव इन योर वर्क कि हाँ मैं बहुत अच्छा कर रही हूँ. And I always help people who come in my DMs and they ask for any kind of advice or help. I am always there for people. So because I somehow know that what it's like to have no one to actually help you with all these things. So that is why I've started my courses also. Ki I don't care, like some people have that thing ki knowledge share karne se somehow you are creating your competitors. I think a lot of people have that kind of thought. So I believe, like initially I also felt that, but now I feel कि यार किसी की हेल्प करने से या किसी को किसी तरीके से आप कोई चीज सिखा रहे हो, so you're not creating your competitions. You're actually making people believe in you कि you are not scared of having a competition. कि because even now I am connected with all my students till now. मेरी पहली वर्कशॉप से आज मेरी आई थिंक 20 और 25th वर्कशॉप अब मेरी शायद स्टार्ट होगी. आई डोंट इवन रिमेम्बर. सो आई एम कनेक्टेड विद एवरी सिंगल स्टूडेंट एंड I'm somehow like I have groups on WhatsApp. So anytime any person who has been my student in past 3 years ever message me कि मैम मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम है, I always take out time. And चाहे वो एक दिन में हो चाहे 2 दिन में, जैसे भी I get time, I always reply to them. Even if they are not my students, even if they are someone who have come across my page and they want to know something, so I always take out time कि हाँ मैं आपको, अगर आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम है, I'll always help you. किस तरीके से, because some students have a doubt कि कॉलेज कौन सा अप्लाई करो. मैं अपना एग्जाम्पल कभी नहीं देती, because I believe कि मैं तो बस हो गया किसी तरीके से. It was not something that I planned. और ये मैं ऐसे नहीं कहूंगी कि मेरा ये विजन था या फिर मेरा ये पूरा रास्ता मुझे क्लियर था. नहीं था. Every single thing that I have done in my life till now has been like person who is just like knocking a ball. कि मुझे नहीं पता ये चौका लगेगा छक्का लगेगा आउट हो जाऊंगी, कुछ नहीं पता. Even now I don't care what I do. मैं बस करती हूँ, कर देती हूँ. And then if like I fail, then it's fine. If I'm doing good या फिर वो अच्छा result आ रहा है उसका, then also I'm fine. So I don't plan things. So plan मत करो, कभी ये चीज मत सोचो कि मैं ये कर लूंगी या मैं वो कर लूंगी. कोई भी ये चीज बिल्कुल मत सोचो, बस करो बिना किसी थॉट के. कल की मत सोच के आज जो है कर सकते हो कर लो, बिकॉज उसके बाद टाइम नहीं मिलता चीजें सोचने का.
Very well said. And I think that those are all the questions that I have for you today.
Okay.
Let's move on to the round of questions. So anybody who's watching right now and has any questions for Vibhu can just like put it right there in the question box, and we'll get to it right now. So I'll give you a moment and you can all type all your questions in your question box.
Okay, I'm just going to read if there are any questions.
Yeah.
I actually love going live like this because somehow you get connected with the people who are around you. Right. And somehow because you can't actually connect with people on stories or post or anything like that. You somehow have to go live. You have to talk to people. You have to, like, I love talking, so I think that's why I was like, okay, questions ho gaye.
Yeah. Okay, we have one question. Illustration as a career for women?
Illustration as a career for everyone, I would say. So not for just women. For everyone, I feel it's a really good career. And
Okay, okay. That was just a part of the question. Is it a good work from home option, illustration as a
yes,
career for women?
yes, I would say it's a very good work from home option. I can actually do everything else also. Like because I'm married and me and my husband both live alone, so I have to handle a lot of things by myself. And I have a really supportive husband who helps me around in every work that I have. Like I'm not like everything is not just on me. Everything is not just my responsibility. If I'm working, if I'm doing something, he's going to do the work. So it's like that. We have a partnership kind of
Yeah.
relationship. So that's how I think. Even if it was not like that, I still feel that. Uh, I think it's a good option if you like if you're able to like balance everything together. You can
Right.
actually have a good career even if even after like you have a child or you have a family or something like that. So you can also always take out time because it's like giving 6 to 8 hours just like a job.
Yeah.
And best thing is that you don't have to give straight 6 to 8 hours together. Whenever you're getting a time, you can work on your projects. You can work, and I think it's totally fine. It's very flexible.
Okay. Have you completed your design degree?
Yes, I completed in 2018. Then I did a job, and then in 2020 I left my job and I continued doing the illustration thing.
Okay. How do you reach your first client?
Uh, my first client, it was a funny story because my first client was for free. I didn't like,
Sorry.
yeah, it was for because uh,
I'm
initially.
sorry, you got cut in the
Okay,
middle.
okay. So my first client was I worked for free initially, like for first 2 3 clients, because it's also a strategy because you have to self promote yourself, and
Yeah.
it's like it was like collaboration or something. Because initially what I used to do, I was free at that time, so मैं जो designers होते थे उनके कोई भी designs उठाती थी and I used to illustrate them. Somehow I wanted them to see what I have done. So somehow like one or two Pakistani designers shared my work on their page. Like I designed an illustration for them, and it actually looked like that I created that illustration for them, and they paid me
Oh,
for that. So it was a galat fehmi. So after that, I got 2 3 orders from some one Pakistani designer, and somehow like I did my best, and because I didn't charge that much to her, but
yeah.
eventually I posted that on my page, and somehow people started to think that okay, she works for people and she has some good designers on her list,
Yeah.
and as a client, like shown as a client, because somehow like people who follow those big designers, they see your
Mhm.
work and they're like okay, this person is doing good. So I
Right.
got my first work like that only, and then I did one for a Dubai client, and then like eventually it started to come out
Big
and everybody started
tumor.
paying. Yeah.
Right. Do we have any more questions? Anyone?
I think people have already asked the question quite above.
Oh,
Or
uh, no, those are already there in the question box, I believe.
okay, okay.
Um, Let me just see. I keep scrolling down and it's
Like people, it's like notification of people are joining, people are joining. So it's
yeah.
like that.
All right, I think I can't see any more questions.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, the ones are already asked. Okay, so anybody who has missed any part of our live session and is invested and want to know the whole story, just go back to our page and we'll be posting this right after we are done. And we can do that as soon as we are done with the live. And you can see whatever you want and you can get all the piece of information and have the best day. I hope Vibhu you had a great time with us today, and
Yeah,
how's it go? I hope that Yeah, oh, I think we have some last minute question.
Yeah. So big fan of your art. Just a question: what are your thoughts on AI? I think when when people started to talk about AI, I was quite scared because as a digital artist, like everybody is like AI is taking over in digital art. But I think I believe that AI cannot create the emotion that a human can create in their art,
Right.
and somehow it is going to be like that only. And like if people if people are going for the shortcuts, they'll go for AI. But people who
Right.
are going for the emotions, because the kind of art that I make, I somehow connect families or somehow connect people who are not together. So AI cannot do that. I can bring the
It's the
emotion, I
human
can
touch.
bring all those things in that, but AI cannot do everything that a client requires. So it's like that.
Right.
There was
Um,
a question on
and
how
there's
to get
another
freelancing.
question, how to get, yeah, freelancing projects.
I think
Um,
it's freelancing projects. Like I never chose any website or anything like freelancing. There are many freelancing websites also. I didn't choose that because I got enough orders from Instagram only. But there are quite a few websites who like people who want to work in the design process, because I actually have skills of the graphic designer also, because I didn't
yeah,
do any graphic designer thing. I don't have a degree in graphic design, but I knew the softwares. I I wanted to experiment with that. Initially I did the graphic design freelancing work also. So like if you know Photoshop, Illustrator, you know how to create logo designs or pamphlets or anything like online portfolios or anything like that. You can
yeah,
get projects on freelancing.com. It's a website, and you have to like search for people who are looking for that project, and you have to research a lot on those websites, because like even I started and I felt like I didn't have that much time to like spend look for people for work. And because you have to do a lot of bidding there, because
yeah,
if someone posts about a work, you'll get a notification, but there are hundreds of people who are going to do the bidding for that project. And there might be some chances that you get the project, there might be some chances that you won't. So like you have to build a really good profile on
yeah.
freelancing.com to show yourself on the above like clientele. So it's like that.
Um, yeah, okay, we have one more question. It says interior design के बारे में कुछ बताओ, please.
Interior design, I think interior design is quite closer to what I have done, because my college had interior design. My best friend is an interior designer. My cousin sister is an interior designer. So I think it's like an art. It's very close to art, but it's like working for the houses in art. Like you're creating art in the houses. So for interior design, I would say that you need to know like softwares like 3D, because like for the initially I think they work on the paper, and
Yeah,
then they work on the softwares like the 3D softwares, and they create the designs. So it's quite different from architecture, because in architecture you basically work on I think flats, and in interior design you have to work on all the 3D designs, because you have to create the room, you have to create the houses, and like everything should be in front of it. It's just like fashion design. Like instead
yeah,
of drawing a fashion illustration, you're drawing a 3ds of the houses, so that you don't have to break walls again and again to show
yeah.
कि client satisfied है या नहीं. So it's like that. Interior design के लिए I would recommend कि आप proper degree लो उस चीज की, because उसके बाद क्या है कि आपको actually बहुत सारा आइडियाज होते हैं, और आपको इंटर्नशिप्स वगैरह भी प्रोवाइड होती है. तो इनिशियली गो फॉर इंटर्नशिप्स. हर चीज के लिए इंटर्नशिप करना जरूरी है. डोंट गो फॉर लाइक डोंट इवन थिंक कि आप किसी भी कॉलेज से करके आपको डायरेक्ट एक 50 लाख रुपए की जॉब मिल जाएगी. नहीं मिलेगी.
Right.
I also took internships initially मैंने internships की and because in internships में you actually learn so much more than you learn from the jobs because जॉब में आने के बाद यू आर लाइक कि ओके मुझे जितना वो लोग पे कर रहे हैं मैं तो उतना ही करूंगा आई वोंट डू एनीथिंग एल्स बट इंटर्नशिप्स में इट्स लाइक कि आपको वो कुछ पे नहीं कर रहे हैं बट दे आर गिविंग यू एक्सपोजर एंड वो एक्सपोजर कोई गलत एक्सपोजर नहीं है they are not exploiting you in any way but they are giving you chance to learn something from the industry and बहुत important है internships आपके लिए because I always say मैं जहाँ पे जॉब करती थी there were few like when I got permanent there after my like I worked because I went for 3 months internship there but they liked my work so my internship got like cut short to 1 month and then they hired me fully but the internships that were working under me they had a thought ki they're not paying us itna zyada so why should we work so जब आपके माइंड में ये चीज आ जाती है ना you don't learn anything आप एक दो महीने बाद वो जॉब छोड़ देते हो आप स्टार्ट करते हो मैनेजर को बोलना नहीं हमें ज्यादा पे करना शुरू करो बट somehow आपको जब तक नॉलेज नहीं होगी nobody is going to pay you so ये थॉट बहुत ही कट शॉर्ट और ये बहुत डीप कट भी करेगा काफी लोगों को बट अगर आप किसी को अच्छा काम शो करके नहीं दिखा रहे हो इवन इफ यू हैव अ गुड डिग्री देन अगेन यू वोंट गेट अ लॉट आउट ऑफ इट आप ज्यादा टाइम तक वो चीज या ज्यादा टाइम तक वो करियर ऑप्शंस कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाओगे
राइट okay, I think that is all the time that we have for all the questions and I hope you had a nice time with me here today and we hope to see you soon.
I really love it's been a long time I actually talked to someone like this and I really love talking so as I said before and I really love talking to you and it was a great session. I was very excited from a lot of like it's been days we were talking about it and I was really excited for it. I was like from the morning I will be talking to someone on Instagram so it was like that.
Awesome. I hope that we can get more time to connect as well and see you soon and have a nice day.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.